Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
You hear me all right?
Yeah, all good. All
Okay.
good here.
All right. So, hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another session or another think tank session from our series where community members present their projects and receive feedback and questions from the community. So the aim of these sessions is to support projects built within the community and eventually take them one step further into their progress. So for today's session, we're welcoming Gabi Dumitriu. Welcome, Gabi.
Hello.
Hi.
Pleasure to be here for the first time, actually, which is kind of interesting and cool, of course.
Thank you for joining us and thank you for taking the time to present your project. So
Yeah,
just
representing here, as you can see, right? So yeah, I'm fully committed.
Yeah, Gabi's been with us to ETHCluj conference this year as well as a speaker. So yeah, we're very well aware of the expertise here, Gabi, and we thank you for your support. So just a few words from us regarding the project that will be presented this session. The project is called Crypto Sentinel and tackles one of the most pressing challenges in digital asset ecosystem. It's quite current, so cybercrime, right? So like just very briefly, obviously we all know this, that with the rise of cryptocurrencies, we've seen an explosion in terms of fraud, phishing, hacking, ransomware attacks, and so forth. Crypto Sentinel is actually steps in as a community-driven blockchain-based reporting platform, if I can call it like that, to counter these threats. And I'm going to pass on the mic to you, Gabi, since you are the expert matter here, and we're gonna listen to what you have to say on the matter.
Yeah, thank you for that. So yeah, it's been a crazy year, right? After the Bybit hack, actually, because we all suffered after the Bybit hack happened. So I think I'm going to share my screen if this is okay with you guys, so we can show you some slides that I've been preparing here, so you can better understand my my profile and my background and what guided me here, basically after almost a decade, more than a decade, basically. So that's a joke that I like to say, that I'm older than Ethereum in this kind of situation. So let me for a second, so I can share my screen and let me know if it's okay, right? Right?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
So a bit about myself. Yeah, this is all my mining gear from 2014. And now I'm basically doing this now financial investigation in the crypto age. Everything started back in 2012 when I registered a domain name when I was trading domain names, and I saw that there was a bit of issue in regarding to Russians buying bitcoins to evade sanctions. So I thought to myself, well, let me see if RussianBitcoin.com is available or not. It was available, and I bought it. And this is how everything started for me. I know that in the current context, it's a little bit of crazy thing, but this is how I started. And then I started to deep dive into the blockchain and crypto, everything, and I managed to create a local currency in my hometown called Localis. I'm from Iași, so local plus Iași, it's Localis. And I managed to gather like 10 local shops to join the ecosystem, and they were trying to understand, wow, what do you mean that I'm my own bank? Yeah, so I built this token and I managed to create like a small community and show them why crypto is better than traditional finances. Moving forward, yeah, that's the setup that I was using to better showcase my project. And then actually that's my first interview that I did in the international press, Crypto Space Initiative, a very high-tech project with launching satellites in orbit, people mining crypto to help International Space Station. But this project basically created a lot of fuzz around my persona. So this is why I managed to know more people in the space and managed to acquire more knowledge into this. And then in 2020, I won the Global Legal Hackathon with a solution that was trying to help fashion designers to protect their intellectual property on the fashion. So I built a tool that helps you protect the intellectual property. Yeah, that's the team. That's Alexandra. This is my face, pretty face from almost a decade ago. And then I managed to, in the pandemics, I managed to showcase how you can use Ethereum, basically, and NFTs as a creator, as a designer, as a painter, to continue do your work and sell your work in another way. Yeah. And then, of course, in pandemic, because I had a lot of time available, I managed to create a project that helps people that are owners of EVs, electrical vehicles, to charge their to pay for for their consumption. Also, of course, because I'm really interested into space, I also built like a blockchain black box for ESA, European Space Agency. The interface is built in LabVIEW. I'm just, trying to show you the interest that I had along the time, which guide me in the end to the forensic investigations. And that's the project that I had with one of my professors back in faculty. We managed to create a system that allows you to create digital calibration system certificates on blockchain. This is really cool, interesting project for the local communities and for the university as well, because we managed to, in our research paper, managed to get like a slot on Science Direct, which is really interesting because they were interested to see how we use the technology in a space that not the traditional metrology or engineering is not that really open to new tech such as blockchain. But yeah, we had quite a run. I told you about the space. I also have a project called Yash in Space. I managed to launch a helium balloon in space. I managed to create the first crypto transaction in Romania with an old token that is not here on the planet anymore. But yeah, that's me launching a helium balloon. And then I tackle with the biobanks, creating digital assets like skin tissue or maybe stem cells, so on and so forth. And then, of course, I try to show all the details in the local show on my local radio. I have my own show called Hit the Beat. Teach them young, that's for my kid. Also, of course, build a token for my kid. And that's the first exchange built in Romania, which guide me to crypto forensic investigation. That's the first thing that I did. Yeah, it's on Binance, but that's my first tackle to crypto forensic investigation after I took all my certification. And actually, this is how investigation looks like. What you see here are tens of transactions and tens and thousands of wallets involved. Of course, this is a portion of everything, but what I want to showcase is that things are happening under our nose, and the reality is that some of the law enforcement agencies are really not ready for this. So it's up to us, people who build on Web3, to showcase what matters and why it matters. And yeah, everything started, of course, with the Bybit hack. We all know how it happened. It matters because a lot of money have been stolen. For thousand of Ethereum have been stolen via supply chain attack. Ever since the attack, all the forensic investigation community tried to offer almost for free their help, their skill, their knowledge to help people to recover the everything related to crypto scams. And also for the breakdown, just a few words on how the hack happened. Of course, most of you know already, but just to show exactly how it happened. All the methodology There are so many, but these are only a few of them. We first get the alert, or we get the address involved in a hack via a report, which we will see after that. And we also imply forensic analysis techniques such as clustering, transaction flow mapping, behavior pattern analysis, and also traditional way, but now we also have agentic AI, which also, of course, speed up all the process. Yeah, so there are a lot of protocols to investigate a crypto scam available, but what I've been, investigating for the last year and a half. The first is the threat detection. That's the first thing that we need to pay attention to. Of course, we need to create like a risk assessment to see what's involved, the amount of tokens that are involved. Maybe there are multiple chains involved in the scam, so on and so forth. Asset tracing, of course, we use multiple forensic investigation tool, proprietary or available via well-known big players. And of course, attribution analysis. Basically, here we try to map the addresses with the well-known database with exchanges, mixers, tumblers, dexes, so on and so forth, so we can better understand and create the whole map of the scam. And of course, evidence documentation where it's available in the same time. And in the end, we create like a SAR, which is suspicious activity report. And based on that, we go to the prosecutor. And from that point, because we as investigator, we don't have jurisdictional power to create, to imply sanctions or to create forfeiture events on an address. And of course, though, what I was telling you about the enforcement coordination, a lot of agencies are involved: police, prosecutors, lawyers, maybe countries, exchanges, so on and so forth. And now let's see some forensic investigation tools in actions. I will switch the the screen here. I think I'll stop sharing and move to the next one, which is the tool exactly in place. 1 second, so I can drag it here. Yeah, so I'll give you a few words regarding my tool, my Crypto Sentinel. He's been built during my training when I was having my crypto forensic investigation training, and after I finished the training, I was telling to myself, wait a second, I think I can actually do this because I've been in space for so long, and yeah, which I did. And that's the tool in action. Second, I think that's the one. Share. You see it? It should be here, right?
Yeah, we see.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
So this project basically offers a decentralized platform design to empower individuals and I think organization in reporting cybercrimes related to cryptocurrency. And as you were saying at the beginning, with the rapid growth of blockchain technology and digital assets, of course, cybercrime unfortunately has become an increasing threat, from fraud, phishing attacks, hacking, ransomware, you name it, because the list is huge. All the other malicious activities within the crypto space, represents like a serious risk to users, to companies, to states even. So this platform basically uses blockchain tech to create an immutable, transparent, and secure space where users can report suspicious activities. Because traditionally, when you try to report a scam, the first thing that came to your mind, well, what if my IP is revealed? What if they can trace me? What if the bad guys are seeing that I reported the hack or the address involved in a hack? So this is the core thing that drove me to create this, to create a pseudo anonymous way to report cyber crimes. And also, yeah, it's not exactly anonymously, it's pseudo anonymous, because using forensic investigation, you can see which address reported, and that address at some point may be interacted with a centralized exchange, and via KYC and AML procedures, you can see the real identity of the person that's reported. But yeah, that's a long story. So that project, it's the audience basically are cryptocurrency users, investors, exchanges, wallet providers, regulators, law enforcement agencies, and of course cybersecurity experts. Each and every single one of them are interested to use, at least in my opinion, this kind of tool, because it helps you validate reports. It helps you for example, for the regulators in law enforcement agencies, they are responsible for financial crime enforcement and regulatory oversight. They can access the platform in order to gather intelligence over the whole ecosystem, sorry. And like a few features of the tool are, of course, the first and the main one, decentralized reporting system. User can submit detailed reports of cybercrime, and then the anonymity and privacy. Basically, whistleblowers and victims of cybercrime can choose to remain, anonymous when reporting or submitting an address or a crypto project or scam. And also I managed to create like a system that creates a validation process. Basically, there are entities on the project, on the smart contract, called validators, and they are chosen amongst the cybersecurity experts, or maybe people from the community that are well known as the good guys that are working to validate and check and validate the report. Also managed to create a system where I created a way to incentivize people to report and validate. I created a system that allows you to add a bug bounty for each and every single one, each and every single report added on the system. And also the core nature of the blockchain transparency. All validated reports are publicly available on the blockchain. And of course, this allows exchanges, regulators, and users to track trends and see the bad guys that are doing stuff online. And so there's a collaborative efforts with law enforcement, which I working at this moment to gather as much as law enforcement agencies, and not exactly from Europe, but across the world, like Europol, Interpol, FBI, CIA, and also the Asia. Because in Asia they don't have MiCA, for example. Yeah, we have MiCA in Europe. They don't have it. We have, for example, NIS2 for cybersecurity in Europe. They don't. So there's a gap in legislation, from my perspective, that this tool tries to fill in. And also using the data, you can create statistics and analytics dashboard, which is in the works at the moment. The idea is to provide the real-time data on cybercrime trends, including types of scam, targeted cryptocurrencies, geographical hotspots, so on and so forth. And the impact that I'm trying to achieve with this project is to, the platform basically addresses the pressing need for a secure and transparent system to report cybercrime involving cryptocurrency, and by offering an anonymous and decentralized way to submit reports. Crypto Sentinel encourages more individuals to come forward and contribute to a safer digital ecosystem. And as crypto adoption continues to grow, the platform's role basically becomes critical in maintaining trust and security. And now let me show you how it works. I have multiple versions because the first one was built to work on Bitcoin, and then I moved, not that I wanted, but because I needed to, on BSC, on Binance. And the third iteration, it's on Sepolia, on Ethereum. I'll give you the full the full platform, the full working platform that works on Binance, because it has more feature embedded at the first. And as Mika managed to gather more traction in Europe, I thought to myself that I wanted to move full force on Ethereum, but it wasn't fully compliant yet. So I'll show you the working product in on that works on Binance. Of course, I'll show you the on Sepolia as well. So the way it works is like this. First of all, let me first disconnect, yeah, because I have my MetaMask connected. Hopefully, let me double check. Now it's on. Yeah, it's on. Yeah, it's on Binance. Right. Cool. So let me connect. Yeah. Uh, Refresh maybe. Come on, boy. Let's connect. You know that thing. I built something really cool, but it's not working online. I hope that not happened to me this time. So first,
It's always a demo. It's
yeah.
okay. We know this.
So, so first you connect your wallet. Of course, I had to first disconnect everything because it was connected on Sepolia, as you saw. Come on, step by step, right? And refresh, delete cookies, and in the end, I promised on my Ethereum that it will work. So it's a big promise. So I have to make it work. So connect. Yeah, told you. So we first connect with MetaMask because I hate managing accounts, honestly. And also I don't want to have user accounts, security, GDPR, so on and so forth. So yeah, why using traditional methods when I can use like login with MetaMask, right? So for example, I'll just put a random address. As you can see, I have many here reported. Let's say, I don't know, this one that ends with F96, yeah? Just to make sure, I'll copy the address here so we can see it all here, yeah? So that's the address that I'm reporting, yeah? F96, yeah? E2 F96. So for example, network, yeah, of course it's ETH. So do you want to report a Binance, not Ethereum? Because we are in the Ethereum think tank. Yeah, let's put it Binance, BSC. Then the project name, it really doesn't matter. I'm just trying to showcase, right? So yeah, this project is demo October 2025. Yeah, and that's the list that I was telling you about, a big one, a huge one. Rug pull, NFT scam, man in the middle, real estate scams, extortion. Oh, this is bad, really, honestly. Yeah, I've seen that. Not cool. Terrorist financing, malicious smart contracts. It really doesn't matter which one. For example, this one. Yeah. And now the way it works, the way that not that the way that it works, the way that I build it is that everything here it's open, it's public, but the scam details are encrypted, so that when you try to see the details of the report, the scam details, the way that attackers did to create like a scam, is not public. Only from the platform you can see after you authenticate. So only myself as admin or validators are they have the ability to see the scam details. I'll show you in a second. For example, I'll see what should I say here? ETH demo and crypto details. Yeah, crypto details. Okay, and link really doesn't matter. Just local host. Yeah, submit the report, and then MetaMask pops up. Yeah, confirm. And in a few seconds, I should get the confirmation. Yeah, that's the transaction ID, right? So if I check the transaction ID here, sorry, not activity, why? I told you, I did something which is really cool, but it's not working. Let me double check. It should work. Oh, I think I know why. 1 second. I saw in a second that it was like Sepolia. Yeah, Binance. It's interesting. Just a second. That's not right. Yeah. many tabs open. I think I'm on the right one, yeah. So let me double check. So, a few hours ago. Yeah, it didn't went through, but I can show you like I'll drag and drop. I think you see it right now. See it? It should be okay. That
Yeah.
that's the contract, yeah, with all the contract interaction. That's the test that I did a few hours ago. So basically, what I want to show you guys is that, yeah, you input as UTF-8. See, it's encrypted. So basically, even though I get a DDoS attack, even though the server goes down, everything, AWS, it happens. I can still double check from within the block explorer all the details. However, I cannot check the scam details. Yeah, I can only see that it's encrypted. However, within the platform, for example, report 29, I guess. Let me see. Yeah, only this way I can see all the details. But within the block explorer, it's encrypted. Nobody knows the method that I used to encrypt all the details, as you can see. So basically, this is why I find it really important for people to know that there are ways, better ways to report, investigate, and trace cryptocurrencies. Not using, I mean, I'm not saying that not using the big players. Of course, they are in the space for so long. They're respected players. However, what I've seen in the space that when a crypto scam is involved, well, no, I just need a crypto forensic investigator that knows X and XYZ tool to use, because from my perspective, when you train a crypto forensic investigator, you should train him to be um, software agnostic. So basically, it doesn't matter which tool it uses as long as he knows to apply procedures using open source intelligence, using open source tools. You know, it doesn't need to be focused only on using XYZ tool, because if it uses this kind of method, it will be able to investigate and trace and solve problems really, really fast, and not depending on a specific tool, for example. Yeah, and that's the that's basically how it works. So you can see if an address here is reported or not. No, because it's not the correct one. But you can see it. You can see here to validate or invalidate report. You can basically add um, additional details on a report if you found out that there are more stuff related to a specific scam. Um, and also, yeah, you can do pretty much everything that you need in order to report a crypto scam. The thing is that people when they face a crypto scam, most of them are afraid to report it because one, the source of funds are not necessarily legal, or they didn't report it to IRS or to financial institutions, and basically, well, yeah, I'll report that I lost, I don't know, 100K, but when the police officer will ask me, well, the source of funds, well, I didn't report it that I made some money out of crypto. So most of the scams remain basically unreported, unfortunately. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, interesting situation going on here, because people are relying only on police to find out the real truth, whether you can choose um, a different approach and manage to find out the truth yourself. So I think this is everything that I wanted to show you at the moment. Of course, the tool it's on progress, because when I started building the tool, Mika wasn't in place in Europe. I've been working for almost 9 months now, I guess. Yeah. So of course, I started with two functions, just report one address, and then I started to add more functions. For example, the network, project names, scam details, check the address, all the functions that were new to me and interesting to add them to a suspicious activity report. And I'm hoping that at the end of the month, or at the next month, it will be like a fully on mainnet, on the yeah, on the mainnet. So I think this is the thing that I wanted to showcase in this interesting panel, and I think it's the time for Q&A, I guess.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. All right. So first of all, thank you so much, Gabi, for showcasing your project. Yeah, open session for everyone to ask questions. I see we already have somebody asking on the in-call messages, right? Alex, you want to take this aloud, or shall I read it out for you?
So okay. So any successful examples of what working with US entities? Nope, not yet. Okay, is there a time limit to initiate the recovering of stolen funds since the incident happened? When does it? Okay.
Or
The
you just read it out aloud so that everyone can understand, like for the broader audience as well, conscious that this is recorded too. So yeah, basically some process questions from Alex. So you trace the hack to an existing making deposit to a sex, like CEX, right? What next? How does the bounty hunter enforce recovering funds, right? And then we're going to take the next ones as well. If you want to take the first one.
No. So you trace the hack to an address making a deposit to a sex. All right. So we have address mapping, basically using OSINT, open source intelligence. We know that a specific address belongs to, I don't know, Bybit or whatever, Binance, it doesn't matter. What next? Well, we create a SAR, suspicious activity report, and we create in that report we basically tell the whole story from the time zero when everything happened, all the address involved, all the transactions involved, everything that we can as users to identify, plus what we as investigator trace up until Binance first or checks, right? Then it's up to a prosecutor to move on and create that season, the state letter, or basically it's called, it has a specific name, asset forfeiture. So only on that judicial act, a legal approach can be applied to a specific checks to give funds back or recover or release the identity of the hacker. That's basically, these are basically the natural steps in an investigation.
And then
Of course, there are a lot of intermediary steps involved when we talk about tracing funds, but mainly, yeah, these are the main one.
Sure.
Mhm.
And Alex was also asking whether you know any successful examples of that worked with US entities. So, for example, somebody stealing funds from a DAO that didn't protect their smart contract for obvious flaws, or left backdoors in the code for insiders. If any,
Uh,
fine.
uh, yeah. However, due to nature of the matter, I cannot provide more details. Yeah.
Understandable.
But yeah, not to US, European.
All right. We're not
Yeah.
going to name names right now, but I'm sure that
Yeah.
anyone can ask these questions and
Not
take it.
not the DAO, but yeah. Yeah. I cannot provide more details, unfortunately, due to the nature of the matter. Yeah.
It's definitely understandable. And is there a time limit to initiate the recovering of stolen funds since the incident happened? When does it become too late? Which is quite often, I guess, the case. I don't know.
Yeah, the sooner the better, of course. However, due to nature of the blockchain, you can also report it after 2 months, 2 years, I don't know, everything is traceable. And at some point, the entity or the person that stole your funds will in the end use fiat, right? Because they cannot pay their bills with crypto, most of them. And then of course we apply the same thing, and we will catch them in if when they convert it to checks. Of course, they are like new services, identity as a service, for example, in Eastern, of course, in Iran, of course, there's, yeah, that's the country. They used to have back in the days, like centuries ago, hawala. Hawala are people that are basically are moving money from one point A to point B. Well, these hawalas have now digitalized and use crypto. And also they use a service called identity as a service, where entities with big money pay them to use their identity to create accounts on a checks. So even though you find that, you know, I don't know, X person has an account on Binance and initiated the attack, you're not 100% sure that that's the real person behind all the attack, you know. So it becomes too late. I don't think that it's become too late, because in the end you can have all the traceability and you can see in the end all the funds. And yeah, if you're lucky, you can still recover them if they're not moved. If they're still dormant in an address, well, you can wait years, for example.
Yeah, it's a delicate question for either way. Opening the mic for Alex Ciobanu right now. I see he's raised his hand for a question. Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, so Gabi, as you know, many crypto scams happen also off chain. For example, on Telegram, so they don't involve an address, at least at first. And I was wondering, is your tool offering a method or solution for such types of situations?
Funny thing that you're asking me this. The answer is not yet, but working on it, because I've become really interested in profiling cyber criminals using agentic AI. I have some connections at the Faculty of Psychology here in Iași, and I've been initiated some discussion related to how we can better profile cyber criminals, but not the traditional cyber criminals that are using, I don't know, credit card scams or, you know, Web2 scams. These ones using Web3, because the way Web3 hacker thinks is so much different than the way that a Web2 hacker think. So I'm really interested into embedded into, I don't know, agentic AI into detecting the intent behind the address, not the result. The result being an address being hacked or a fund being stolen, so on and so forth. So I'm really interested into embedding into the next version of Crypto Sentinel, the intent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
By intent, I'm what I mean is that the way a user interacts with the mouse, you know, in a browser, it creates a pattern. Reading and understanding that pattern gives you an opportunity to better trace, so identify the intent. And yes, I am intending to use it in Telegram as well. TRM Labs also offers a Telegram bot. Basically, it gives you a lot of alerts regarding an address that has been involved in a hack, or maybe an address that maybe its own address, and you receive at several hours or weeks some tokens, right? Some scammy tokens. It gives you an alert. What I want to do with my Telegram bot is to, of course, give you alert regarding the intent of use of an address. Yeah, it's a lot of work, I know, but understanding what people intents are, I think will transform us from reactive to proactive, you know, which is,
I believe will be very beneficial.
Yeah,
and also for the more normal users. And thanks a lot for answering.
Yeah.
I see we have another question here from Catalin. Cata, you mind reading out your question, or you want me to do it? I think.
Yeah, so it's not really like a question, just an open discussion. So I will just read what I said. So when we talk about Ethereum, we talk about Tornado Cash, which is the end game probably for tracking on Ethereum. And people can lose the track of their cyber criminality, but of course they cannot lose the way they provided the money, so they can justify the money. And probably this is something that you took in consideration, like
Yeah.
as a limitation.
Yeah. Also, is not a limitation. It's more like how should I call it? Like a myth, because advanced tools like Theorem Labs or Chainalysis, reactor from Chainalysis, they have the capability to detect whether a token has been involved in a Tornado Cash, for example, yeah, that you mentioned. So there are ways, advanced ways, expensive ways to detect and also trace funds involved in a mix or a tumbler, such as Tornado Cash. So it's not necessarily an end game. It's a pain in the butt, let's put it this way. It's not the end game. We think to believe that it's an end game because we as normal users, we don't have the capabilities or knowledge or tools to check deeper. But yeah, there are ways, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah, I suppose it's like something that rely on human behavior on blockchain that can make people make mistakes and observe their patterns to see where you get the tokens.
You'd be amazed how many hacks involved reused addresses, because from time to time they are so lazy they forget that at some point they used an address in a different hack, and basically we can yeah, you'd be amazed. In the North Korean, in the Bybit hack, where the North Koreans involved in the hack,
Yeah, Lazarus.
Lazarus Group, of course. There are 25,000 addresses reported so far. 25,000 in Bitcoin, Binance, Ethereum, Solana, Tron. What else? Yeah, and from what I've been investigating, I've seen addresses involved in the WireX hack, involved in transfers from 2017. So they are lazy, because if I will be a hacker, of course I will create a new address, right? But they are lazy. From time to time they forget that they used an address in the previous hack and they reuse it. So this is gold for us, for example.
Maybe they don't care because they have like the protection of the country and they can
Yeah,
rely on that for a moment.
Yeah, but we know that Lazarus Group, it's a nation state funded organization, right, to protect their nuclear program. Iran as well.
Yeah.
So you should be professional. So maybe somebody from HR should be fired. North Korea.
I don't know if they can be professional. Like communism and professional are two things that never stay in the same room.
I don't know, but for
Maybe
me, it's an HR problem. It's an HR problem.
maybe this is also on purpose. I mean, let's entertain the thought. Maybe, it's speculative in a way.
I'm joking here, of course.
Yeah. I was wondering also, like, I know that you were talking about protecting the reporter's anonymity, and you already have this built in, right? But as far as I understand it, or correct me if I'm wrong, like, you haven't yet touched upon the idea of zero knowledge proofs, right? Or
not yet. No, not yet.
So is there like a plan to use in the future maybe zero knowledge proofs or privacy preserving technologies like ZK Snarks and ZK EVM?
Exactly. Yeah. In the next iteration, it will be available.
All right, cool. And also, like, I was wondering whether, so this is basically could be a very good public goods project, and I was wondering whether you thought about this part, whether you could have this project eventually plug into the Ethereum public goods funding mechanisms. I don't know, like Gitcoin, to sustain I can say like that, validator participation and community rewards.
You see me smiling, so I think you get the idea, the answer. A lot of thoughts are going through my mind, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Well,
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just wanted to put it out there. Like, if we can support, obviously, this would be a cool project to put out there, and like from us, Ethereum security like initiatives. Like, do you see this platform integrating with existing existing Ethereum security initiatives? Like, I don't know, Scam Sniffer or EtherScan tag system or anything like that?
Yeah, of course. I'm not here to reinvent the wheel. I just wanted to put it to a better use, of course. So yeah. It would be, of course, amazing for me to see that. I don't know. A friend of mine told me that, dude, I used your tool embedded in EtherScan. That's so really cool. Come on. I mean, come on. Of course, to be like, wow. If you think about it, like millions of people could use your tool. So when you put it like this in perspective, yeah, it's a really cool stuff.
And on that, I mean, I guess you're thinking about the plan to position the platform within the existing, obviously within the existing landscape of blockchain-based security, which is, we know that there are a lot of like good projects and cool tools out there. I guess it would be a shame not to, like tap into the potential for scalability. And because basically the way I see it is it's also a question of building a strategy for building trust, right? And adoption among early users, right?
Yeah.
Early users or users generally. So especially considering privacy sensitive contexts like cybercrime reporting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, really good. What we can say for sure is that we are really living some interesting times. That's for sure. Hands down.
Sure.
Hands down, honestly, yeah.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions, guys? We still have like a couple of minutes left if you want to step up and ask your question, or if not, you can, I'm sure, eventually reach out to Gabi. Gabi
for sure.
is already on our Telegram channel, on ETHCluj Telegram channel. It's exactly like that, the handle ETHCluj. So make sure to reach out to him if you have more questions. And other than that, I guess nobody else
We'll
has
see you at ETHCluj, right?
For sure. And
in a few weeks, Peg. No, not next week. Whoa, next week, man. Next
don't
week.
put pressure. No.
I was joking.
It's gonna be next year, but we'll announce the dates hopefully very soon. So stay tuned, guys, and also looking forward to hosting you again, Gabi, in our Think Tech sessions.
Thank you.
We're working on a couple of other projects, so we're hoping to hear on that. Probably at the Dev Connect, so we'll announce it as soon as we have the dates.
Nice.
Thank you again for your presentation and taking the time.
Thank you.
And for that you do. And
thank you so much.
Thanks to everyone for attending.
And also thank you guys for creating the context for us to be here, because you guys rock.
Thank you so much, Gabi. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers.
Have a nice evening. Have a nice day, everyone.
Back at you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.